Hello everyone! This chart is interactive and reacts to slicer selections. The chart displays the development of the average price of the selection as compared to the total average price over time. In Microsoft 365 and Excel for the web, you can link dynamic charts with changing number of categories to the spill range of a single formula. The formula to which the chart is linked is huge. And if you did not see my last video where I explained how I put it together, it would be very hard to understand what the different parts of the formula actually do. The formula would look much better like this. Here you can clearly see the input and the different stages of the calculation. So in this video, you're going to see how to make complex formulas readable by using the function let. This function helps to simplify complex formulas and increase calculation performance. So how does the function let work? The syntax of this formula allows the user to declare a variable, define what the variable is going to represent. You can even use several variables, and at the end comes the calculation, which is the formula in which the variables will be used. So for example, if your formula adds up two numbers, then with let, the same formula would look like this. The first variable is defined as number 30, the second is 40, and at the end comes the sum calculation. Both formulas will give you the same result. Using the function let is a good practice, especially if you're sharing your files with someone else who has to understand your formulas. Now back to our huge formula. In case you haven't seen my previous video, here is a recap of the logic behind the formula. It actually consists of three formulas. The first formula, which should deliver the chart categories, gives back unique sorted years from the table, which are filtered to exclude the years from hidden rows. This part of the formula determines if the row is hidden or visible. So it returns an array of ones and zeros, ones for the visible rows and zeros for hidden ones. The second formula sums up the sales value for each of the years and divides it by the sum of sales units in order to calculate the total average price. And the third formula calculates the average price, but only for the slicer selection. So it sums up the values, which is this part of the formula, and divides them by the sum of the sales units, but only for the visible rows. So here we again have the same part of the formula that returns the array of ones and zeros for visible and hidden rows. So this part of the formula repeats itself 3 times, twice in this formula and once in the formula for the years. And the by-row and lambda functions at the beginning are necessary for making the whole formula spill. To create a single spill range, I use the function choose, which assigns values to index numbers. To get an array, I type the index numbers 1, 2, and 3 in curly brackets separated by commas for the 3 formulas and pasted the formulas one by one separated by commas. But I substituted the reference to the cell H13 by the formula for the years that is there. So the formula returning the years will also be repeated several times. And the references to the table columns are also repeating. The second spill range is not supposed to be here, and it's only for demonstration of the formula logic, because if the spill range above gets longer and reaches cell H12, then I will get a spill error. My goal with this formula is to make it more readable by taking care of the repeating parts and showing the steps of the calculation. So I'm going to use the function let and first declare the variables for the table columns. Years, I want each variable and calculation step to be on a separate line. units, and values. I need 2 more variables for the repeating parts of the formula. This array is going to be the variable for the part of the formula that delivers the array of ones and zeros for visible and hidden rows of the table. I'm going to apply this variable instead of the part of the formula that it represents. The other repeating part of the formula is the part delivering the years. I'm going to call it categories because the years are categories of the chart. Again, apply the variable instead of the formula part that it represents. Apply the first 3 variables. Parenthesis at the end, and I deleted one in the middle. I can use the declared variables also in the lambda function. So I don't need the 2 extra variables that were there in the original formula. And add 2 more variables for the prices. Total average price, and average price of selection. Now it is much easier to change or debug this formula. The variables have to be declared in the solving order. For example, if I place the values variable after this array which needs this variable, I will get an error. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe for more.